this is our cause right now, and I know you've had support from David Icke as well. Is that correct, Ann?
Yes, that's correct.
And David Icke,
yes.
And I want you to know that the people that have been contacting me about this, they just are. It's outrageous, and we're going to put some pressure on the politicians here in the United States as well to get some relief for you.
Well, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic if you do that, because we need, we, the Scottish people, we need help here.
Yeah.
Well,
because this is not only going to affect, Holly and give her justice. This is going to protect other boys and girls like Holly that are,
absolutely.
More than likely being abused right now.
So let's talk a little bit more. Let me ask you a question. Are you comfortable taking calls? Because we don't need to do that. If you want to just continue our discussion, it's up to you.
No, I'm all right with that.
Okay. Well, then we'd like to invite some of our listeners to call in at 1-347-838-8452. And remember, if you're out of the country, you do need to dial the United States code. I don't even remember what it is. Do you, Ann? Is it 011 star?
01.
001, yeah.
001.
001 star. And
yeah.
we will definitely take a call. Now, here's the caveat here. I will not tolerate anybody abusing this nice lady on the air. You'll be cut off immediately. So obviously, this is not a forum for your enemies, Ann. These are for individuals that want to help, and basically, hopefully, want to ask you how to do that. Okay. So, getting back to this, let me ask you. Obviously, we're talking about your husband. What organizations was he involved with? Do you know?
I know members of his family were definitely in the Masons, but he worked in the oil industry, so there's a lot of connections there as well.
Was he active in the Freemasons then, or his dad?
Not that I was aware of, but I know certain members of his family were definitely, yes.
Well, have you noticed any other suspicious behavior with him, or
during the time of my marriage?
Yes.
Nothing that you would say that would, sort of put you on alert that he was abusing her. Certain things like, he thought this was funny that, every time she had a bath, even, right up until she was 20, he would fill his mouth with water. And, when she was, having her bath, he would go in and he would squirt her with this cold water, and she used to scream. And I was, forever, it caused a row every time. I said, will you please stop doing that? She doesn't like it. And I said, not only that, she's far too big now, for you even to be going in there,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was, classed as a party pooper, oh, it's only fun,
So he was basically dousing with water to see through her clothing then? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes. And what age was Holly when this started happening?
Oh, from quite young right away through. He thought it was a joke, you see? Yeah.
So basically, was he involved in child pornography or anything like that you know of, or?
Not that I'm aware of, but he actually worked for university television. So he knew all, and when we moved to Canada, he actually worked for a man called Hobel Leiterman. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, my husband was brought over from Scotland to dub, I think it was about 300 films into about 11 different languages. So, he has the knowledge of all of that. So whether,
Well, he knows how to make a porn movie, I'm asking you. He knows how to make a porn movie. He knows how to make a porn movie.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And he has the connections to market that, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So obviously one of the concerns here is that who knows, but one of the concerns here is that he was involved with that as well. So this is an individual that not only has connections in Scotland, but he has connections, it sounds like, throughout the world.
Worldwide. Yes, because he worked down in Brazil, with Holly, when she was 6, that's where Holly told the police that the full penetration started when we were down in Brazil.
Jeez. Has he ever been accused of anything by any neighbors or anybody else in the community?
No.
or has anybody else stepped forward and accused them?
No, not that I'm aware of. The thing that, people used to say about him.
Normally, a sexual predator, they have multiple victims. And he's probably...
Well, he worked in the oil industry, right? And he, traveled all over the world to places like Singapore, Africa, Brazil, where all these things, happen. So, more than likely, he was doing it there, but not.
Yeah. I mean, the sad reality, as Mr. Usher pointed out, is that we're talking about the highest elements of society that are condoning and protecting this behavior. So, what can we do? I mean, can you? What would you have our audience do to help you out? What can we do?
Well, I want, the police to investigate this properly. At the moment, Grampian police have not even interviewed any of these perpetrators.
So we're talking
with all these
may I interject here?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The question you asked us was, what can we do, meaning yourselves there? Well, and the Grampian police are totally compromised because they are actually controlled by the area you could call them the big chief lawyers in the areas. Well, of course, if these people are if they're involved, they're called swingers. If they're involved in pedophilia, they're not going to instruct the police. And of course, many of the police, particularly the junior ones, they deplore it. They cannot understand why no one does anything about, or they start in a case of pedophilia, and then they're told to drop it. So the Grampian police are not really in a position to, they are completely compromised themselves, although there will be individual ones there who would like something to be done. So the help we need in Scotland is, in Holly's case, and there will be hundreds of other little boys and girls, or little girls and boys, being abused on a daily basis. The help we need is a massive response from countries like the United States and European countries, writing to the Scottish authorities, actually drowning them in a flood of mail and saying, "What the hell are you playing at? You are below.
Can you email me?
You are below contempt."
Email me phone numbers of individuals that we need to contact. I'll publish it on my site.
Right, we'll do that.
We'll
that's what we'll do.
We have contacted all the main MPs, Alex Salmond, all the main people in Scotland definitely over the last 4 years, and I did it as a private individual from 2000, and you just hit brick walls the whole time.
As an individual, that's correct. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the power, literally of hundreds of thousands of individuals to bear here.
It's actually the power of the people. That's the only thing that's going to break this thing. As they did in Belgium about 5 years ago, there was a very senior pedophile gang on the rampage there, and suddenly, one little girl died, and suddenly the streets of Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium, filled with about 200,000 people, and they said, "Right, we're going to sort you." And they sorted them, and these people got thrown out. Of course, they were given.
Do you have any protests organized?
At the moment, there was 10,000 people on Facebook went on to support, Justice for Holly, and the Crown Office have just closed that site down.
Well, you
today.
Realize that Facebook
today they closed that site down.
Yes, and for listeners,
so they are very frightened about this story coming out.
10,000 people, their voices were
on the Facebook.
On Facebook. And I hope our listeners realize that the reason why you need to be concerned about this is these people don't have one victim. This could be your child that's being molested right now.